Hello everybody, it's Flet, and I'm back. Shout out to Rhyhorn for uploading while my computer's been broken, but you know what? I'm here. And today I just want to talk a little bit about one of my favorite games. I have over 1,000 hours in it. It's pretty amazing, Rust. It's in alpha still, but there's still one problem that I think everybody has with it, which isn't even to go. Everybody has their own ideas about like what content needs to be added, gameplay, whatever, but that's not what I'm going to talk about. Something that just seems pretty crazy compared to everything else is the technical standards this game asks for. On the Steam page, you see that it's asking for something like 16 gigabytes of RAM, which most games only ask for 8. Tom Clancy's The Division, which, let's be honest, comparing the two, is way more graphically advanced, asks for less still. And it's also asking for GTX 980, which, once again, a new game coming out, The Division, which looks better, is asking for less. So my question really is just, why is Rust asking for so much power and everything, when it doesn't even look as good as some of these other games? Even the older games like Witcher 3, which, yeah, I know, it's not even that old, but it still asks for less compared to what Rust asks for. And in-game, I can get about 60 frames. I'm using a GTX 970, which is a pretty high-end graphics card, like $350 graphics card, yet that still doesn't even meet their requirements. I'm not sure if, on the technical side, really, if it's just because it has to render in so much, or if the game's just not yet optimized yet. That's probably it, because it's still an alpha, and I don't mean to, like, really tear apart an alpha game. I know it's an alpha. I'm just saying, I feel like that's what the developers really need to focus in on, because I shouldn't have to lower my graphics at all. I feel like, the 16 gigabytes I'm using, along with the GTX 970, is more than enough than I should actually be using. And still though, this game still calls for so much, and I don't know why this is. Something else I kind of struggle with when playing Rust is pretty much just how useless the melee weapons are. I know they made great strides to make them throwable and more damage, but it's just, when you swing the weapons, it just feels so unresponsive, does not even feel good. I feel like they should go more for, like, if you've ever played the game Reign of Kings, they have a great melee system. The blocking is fantastic. The swinging feels responsive. Something a little bit more along the lines of the game Chivalry. But no, in Rust, when you get like the cleaver or the sword, when you swing, you have to pretty much be standing still. You can't sprint while you're moving. And yeah, it just feels terrible. And I've never won a fight with a melee weapon that wasn't the spear, just because the spear's range is so much better. There's really no point in using the melee weapons when the bow is as good as it is. But the bow can't be any worse than it is, because the guns in this game are just so much better in comparison. Now, I don't know any other way to, the only other way I can think of to fix this issue, I'm not a game developer, but that would either be to make all the guns so much more harder to come by that the standard doesn't become an AK or the semi-auto rifle, it becomes like the bow or melee weapons. But even then, I just wish the melee weapons felt a little bit better, because there's no point in crafting them when you can make a bow. But that's all I have for critiques, though. I'm really liking what the developers are doing as far as more in-game events. I feel like that's really going to help Rust out. The helicopter was a step in the right direction, even though it is a little bit. I've never been able to take one down just because, I'm in a two-man group. But I do feel like that's a definite step in the right direction. And, I'd like to see something a little bit more for the players that are newer, you know what I mean? So they can take down something, whether it be like a massive animal, or I know even since Legacy they've been talking about adding in like cool little robots or whatever. I feel like that's definitely something they could manage and would make the game way more interesting, because it really isn't that fun until you get established and you get some guns going, or right after the wipe when everybody's down to the same level. And yeah, the gameplay I'm playing right now is Intoxicated Battle Royale. Go check it out, it's really fun. They have servers pretty much all over the world now, I think. It's a great game mode. It makes Rust a lot of fun sometimes. It makes it into a game where you can just kind of hop on and have some fun other than grind. But yeah, if you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see change in Rust, or if you think my ideas are shit, they probably are. I don't know. I'm not a game designer or anything. Again, huge shout out to Rhyhorn holding down the channel. Subscribe today and join Flet's Fleet. See ya.